Alright, and three, two, one. What's up, guys? We're the Visions, episode 1. We got me, Steven, and we got Brian
What's up?
and Peter.
Let's
Alright, for our first topic today, we're talking a little bit about iTunes with Apple. I've recently had an issue with my iPhone where every time I plug it in, it will not sync. And it's been going on for probably about a month now.
Also, your iPad.
Yeah, iPad doesn't work either, and I'm pretty sure my mom's phone doesn't sync up either. So apparently I'm the only one having this issue, and Peter has an Android, so he doesn't even have to worry about any of this crap.
Android's better, just saying.
Yeah.
Oh,
well,
here we go again.
yeah, that'll be my next purchase as long as Apple doesn't come out with anything better than their stupid iPhone 5 with one extra inch.
Hey, that extra inch, man, apparently causes a lot more pleasure.
I'm not gonna mention anything.
Well, I would like to be up to, 3 inches, but, beggars can't be.
Alright, I'll stick with my nice AMOLED screen, almost 5 inches.
Oh
Yeah,
my goodness.
someone's
Extra
dreaming
screen.
big.
No.
Yeah.
Someone's dreaming really big.
We could start the whole Apple debate, and I can just say, look at my Retina.
Your Retina display.
Yeah,
You got the
AMOLED.
4 or the 4S?
I got the 4S.
Oh, yeah. I
Which-
thought you did.
I got a guy that is helping me with my. I call him Mac guy. He's helping me get everything set up on my Mac side for my PC, my Hackintosh. He lives in Russia, so we just iMessage and not numbers, obviously.
You guys sexed.
Yeah, we sexed. But he was telling me that in Russia, when the iPhone 4 came out, they were selling them for $3,200.
Why?
I guess it's just it's just like, since they're all communist and everything, they really can't get anything out there, so everything that's imported is just ridiculous. Like my mom was saying, you could sell a pair of Levi's for a few $100 over there.
Gee, I got like 5
Good trip.
toothbrushes I haven't opened yet, sitting in my drawer. I'll go flip that over there and make like $1,000.
I don't think it works with toothbrushes. I mean, I'm pretty sure they get toothbrushes over there.
Yeah, but do they got the whatever Oral-B electric brush one?
Ooh,
dual-
getting fancy over here.
Dual brushes?
I don't think we gotta worry about the toothbrushes till we make some vodka-flavored toothpaste.
If we make that, I mean, that'd probably sell great in Russia.
Probably.
I don't know, but I've been looking online at support sites and everything for my iPhone, and literally iTunes doesn't even recognize it, and this iTunes 11 just sucks.
Yeah, I don't like iTunes 11. I think they're trying to, implement the whole Windows 8 tablet whole little theme, and it's just not working. I don't like Windows 8 either.
It's the way of the future, though. Everyone wants all of their information being shared with everyone 100% of the time.
Yeah, Windows 7 or Windows 8 seems like it's more like I don't know. I wouldn't even call it a Windows 8.
It's not meant for desktops at all. It's meant for multi-touch screens and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and they just recoded it to work on a desktop as well. And, hey, let's
Yeah.
sell it. It doesn't even cost that much, does it? Isn't it like?
It's only like $86 or something.
Yeah, what they're trying to do with that is they're trying to, get into the whole market of how Apple sells their operating system so cheap.
Oh, because yeah, and I
And
mean,
then they
since-
charge $90 per update. Woo!
But I
What?
mean, saying it's Apple too, you're paying like $1,500 for, their laptop, so they better give you an upgrade for pretty cheap.
Yeah, I mean, Usually it's like, say if you buy the laptop within like a year or so, I don't know the specific time, but if you buy it within like a reasonable date of the new OS coming out, they'll just gift it to you. Um, if not, I believe it's $30. That's it.
Yeah, because I know like a lot of the Windows like where I are Windows 7 compatible, and you got the upgrade for free if it's going to come out in a fairly short time. But if not, you got stuck paying like $200 for your new operating system.
Yeah, that's just ridiculous. It's not
But
even that good. None of them were.
I mean, one thing about Apple's though, like, all right, like yeah, they change up the operating system, but like, does it look that much different, or is it really just the internal features that are upgraded and stuff like that?
They
Well,
just hide more stuff from more people.
I mean, they supposedly build the OS from the ground up. That's why it's supposedly so hard to hack, because every time they come out with an update or a new operating system, they recode it. Um, but I mean, it really doesn't change besides backgrounds. Like when they come out with a new OS, they'll put new backgrounds in it. But I mean, it's one of those things. Why fix something that's not broken?
Right. I mean, if it's going good, the only thing I noticed, my girlfriend's Mac, I've been getting a lot of pop-ups on it.
Uh-oh.
I was very surprised because I'm like, I thought Macs didn't get this stuff. And
Sounds
like,
like she got the new Mac Trojan.
well, she's got an old Mac. It's like 10.5. It like doesn't even have the App Store in it.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, and when I was talking to you, Brian, earlier about it, and it upgrading wouldn't be even worth it because the components in the computer are too old to support the new one, and it slowed the computer down.
Yeah, it's not where the RAM alone couldn't even run that thing probably.
Yeah, so I think she has like 2 gigs
Yeah,
RAM or something like that.
I believe Lion recommended is 4. You can run it on 2, but I mean, you can only have like Safari open, and then your RAM's basically all taken. If you even try to run Mountain Lion, that 2 gigs would be like the entire system, just because it has so much integrated stuff now.
Right. That's the one thing that I don't like about the Macs is as far as you can't really upgrade them. Once you got it, you got it. You can't go buy RAM for it or anything like that, really.
Well, no, you can buy RAM for them, and it's not like they're gonna be like, yeah, you can buy RAM, but as soon as you open the computer, you void your warranty. It's not like that. Like, there's a whole bunch of websites online that have a whole bunch of different Mac products and stuff, and even on their website, or if you talk to support, they'll tell you that a lot of people are taking out the CD drives and putting solid state drives in for them, and buying like the USB CD drives in case people want stuff like that. They'll be open about it. So I mean, it's not like they're saying you have to buy it through us, blah 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 blah. It's just, I mean, when you buy a MacBook Pro, and when you buy any laptop, it's not like you can take out the motherboard and replace it with a faster one or a better one or get different features or anything like that.
That is true. Now, what do you think of this? So the new MacBook Pros have no CD drive. Do you think that was a good choice by Apple?
Well, I mean, if you look at it, they did that because everybody else that is making Ultrabooks, every single company that builds Windows computers, they're doing the same exact thing. But Apple has always made, since the MacBook Airs, Apple has always made that USB CD drive, and I believe if they didn't already come out with it, they're coming out with it. It's going to be a Thunderbolt CD drive, so it's going to be super fast.
Right. I know they put like their operating systems and upgrades and stuff like that are all on flash drives.
Yeah, the whole Retina display MacBook Pros are all flash memory now.
Yeah, and
Which,
even the operating or the app stores, that's how you pick up your new operating system.
yeah,
You just download it online.
which I mean that is completely, 100% future proof and all that kind of stuff. But if I'm paying $2,300 for a computer, I don't want 200 gigs of a hard drive. That's just a no.
If I'm paying
Right.
$2,300 for a computer, I better be building that bitch myself.
Very true.
The only one of the things I think of only is downloading it off the App Store is if your computer crashes and you need to like, restore it using like, in that case you would need a USB. So you could probably back it up to a USB, but then you would have to always keep that USB with the file on it. I'd hate having a USB that I really couldn't use for anything else because I have a system restore on it. That's
Well,
the
I
only
mean, um, this it's obviously already out in the public, so it's not really like it matters. It's not really like Apple's gonna come to my house and sue me. Basically, I just
I would
torrented.
test it.
Basically, I just torrented a Mountain Lion untouched ISO file, and then if you go on TonyMacX86.com, big shout out to those guys. Um, they have a whole bunch of applications and stuff, and what it is if you don't have a Mac, all you do is download a virtual machine, get it to run Mac, download the I believe Unibeast it's called. It's an application where you mount the ISO file. So like basically the ISO file is like what you download from the Mac App Store, and
right.
you basically open it. It mounts itself, and then you would open that application Unibeast, and you would assign it to the USB drive, and then it makes a bootable drive for you. I did that, and because I actually just reinstalled Mac on my computer again last night, um, and I figured out that even though it is bootable with like Mac OS X and everything like the installer, I put extra applications like MultiBeast, it's what installs Kex, they're like drivers for Mac. Um, I put that application in there as well, and it's still installed perfectly fine. And once I got it open, I just opened the thumb drive again and drag and dropped it onto the desktop.
By the way, how is your Hackintosh running for you? Did you get all the graphic processors figured out?
Um, for the most part, everything that, you know, it made me happy because when we built the computer, I didn't even know about Hackintosh. Well, to a point I did, but everything that we bought works out of box. The only problem is with I don't know if it's just with the GTX 550 Ti that HDMI doesn't work. Well, it works. It's just the screen is like overscaled. But anything else like VGA or DVI, all that stuff works out of the box. It's just I don't have those inputs on my TV, so I have to work with the HDMI and trying to get that to work. And another thing is getting sound through it. Um, Not the easiest. Requires a whole bunch of hacking. I haven't even started that yet, but I mean I can work around that. Plug headphones in, plug external speakers in, do whatever.
Right.
Yeah, I mean everything else though, basically out of the box. If anyone out there is looking to do it, best thing to do is go on that website and look at all the different builds and basically build a computer based off someone else's build of what you would want and what you know is going to work out of the box for the easiest. But if you flash your BIOS, that also lets your CPU lower its speed so it's not full throttle all the time. It also enables like sleep wake. It just makes it more actual Mac like, and it doesn't affect Windows or anything like that. So I also did that last night. I mean it's just little things. I don't even know. It's little things that mean so much.
Which the website address will be included in the description box below, so you guys can check that out as well. If you guys are interested in making a Hackintosh of your own.
Yeah, you can go on Google and type in Hackintosh. There's a whole bunch of different people on YouTube building them, putting them together, telling you, installation setups. Steven over here has a YouTube channel. You guys can find him, obviously, and send him a message, and we can try to help you guys out as best as possible too.
Exactly.
I can just help you all out now and say don't do it. It's a bad idea.
Peter here is against pretty much anything Mac relation.
Our Intel.
Yes, Intel. He is full AMD, and he's also. Peter, aren't you actually considering switching over to a GeForce?
Yeah, I
For
am
your
considering
GPU
going
next time?
NVIDIA because they don't actually lean any which direction. They're just kind of their own company.
So what made?
That's another thing I never really understood. Why is there the NVIDIA GTX 550 Ti, the Asus GTX 550 Ti, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera? What's the point of that?
I believe it's all the same build type. It's just they gave different manufacturers the ability to build their software and their hardware.
Yeah, I guess there's really no difference then.
Yeah.
Because like with ATI, it's all the ATI build. It's just different manufacturers make it.
Yeah. I just didn't know if it included different features. The Asus had more
Well, I
memory
mean, the
for it.
specific manufacturers might add their own specific features to it, but other than that, it wouldn't have anything else from that graphic company.
Yeah. Pete, aren't you planning going with SLI on your GeForces next go around?
When I get my GeForces, I'm gonna start with at least a dual SLI. I want to go triple though.
Yeah, always best
Maybe
to go
quads
triple.
if I get it.
But yeah, I've always thought about quads, but I think by the time I got to quads, they'd be so outdated, it wouldn't even be worth it.
Yeah.
I mean, those things aren't cheap as it is, especially if you gotta go all out. Ryan, you're running the 670, 680?
My graphics card?
Yes.
No, I have the 550 Ti.
Oh, that's right. You're running the GTX 550 Ti. And
Yeah.
how's that been running for you? Any issues as far as any gaming not being able to run on Ultimate?
Not at all. I've hit some places in WoW, like undiscovered, where I'm on full ultimate settings, and I'll walk in, and it'll display discovered or whatever, and I'll get like a couple frames dropped. I'll mainly get down to probably 50. It'll skip a little bit, and then it goes right back up. That's about it. It handles some pretty good stuff.
Yes. Because I'm very surprised because I still have the GTX 260, which that's 5-6 years old by now, but at the time that was the best of the best when I bought it. But I was very surprised I was able to play Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 on high settings. I couldn't go ultimate, but it ran perfectly fine on high. I was very surprised with that. And same with World of Warcraft. I can play it on high, but I can't go to ultimate.
What about I believe the highest card now is the 690 Ti. How does it make you feel?
Crappy. Poor.
Did they even come out with a Ti version of that? I thought their last Ti was a 660.
Yeah.
It could be. I'm not too sure.
I'm going to confirm this now because I thought they went way up. As far as GeForce graphic cards go, the GTX series.
No, I believe the GTX goes up to 690.
GTX. Actually, I don't even know if they're up there. Yeah, 680.
Yeah, I see a 690 for desktop on their website.
And how much is that?
I don't know if we want to know, but I'll find it. I'll find it.
Because right now,
Compare and buy. Compare and buy.
we're looking at the $500 range for
It looks like we're starting at $1,000
$1,000.
for the 4 gig GTX 690.
and the 680 is 500. So is it really worth an extra $500
Well,
for?
I've heard rumors that their 660 Ti actually works just about as good. So
Yeah, and they have a lot of specials too. You see, if you're interested in picking up a GTX 680, they're including like Assassin's Creed and Borderlands 2.
Okay. I just gotta put this out there. On Newegg, it is $999.99.
Oh, so Petey, you lied. It's not $1,000.
oh, I lied by 1 cent. Ooh, sales tax.
But no, just while we're talking about graphics cards, I heard that the I didn't quite get this because I heard that the 560 was more for, not necessarily gaming, but just people that would like, obviously better graphics and if they were using like Adobe programs and stuff like that. Is that true?
As far as what for Adobe programming?
I mean,
Restate would you say 560?
yeah.
Yeah, I'm not too sure on that one.
I don't know.
I-
Their website doesn't even go back that far unless you're talking about a notebook graphics at the 560M.
No.
You're still talking GTX, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, GTX 560. Those are still out.
Yeah, it's the one above mine.
Yeah, they're 250 at the moment. I mean,
Because I remember the guy at CompUSA, he was saying something about the 560 wasn't worth it for the price.
right, because it wasn't that big of a jump that it was worth the extra, like, it's like $100 some, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it really wasn't worth the price for what little jump you got. That's like going from the 680 to the 690. You're doubling the price, but do you really get that much? You better off buying two 680s.
Yeah.
I think you.
Or if you're talking about spending $250, their 660 Ti costs 260, 279.
See, I don't understand that because the 560 is 250. They just have so many different ways.
Yeah. I mean, I think it is set up so like each model has its own specifics, its own pros and its own cons. I don't think it just goes up so much by each number. I don't think they did it like that. I mean, for the most part, yeah, like, in a nutshell, yes, but I think
Right.
each one has its own pros and cons.
Exactly. But it's the ways. I was interested in looking at for my next motherboard one with dual CPUs.
See,
Yeah.
I don't know if there's like a workstation one, and I don't know if I'd use all that power.
Right. I mean,
Who
it's
cares
nice
if
to
you
have.
use it? You have it.
It looks cool. That's all that matters.
That's like the guy that was in that video.
You could
Did
do
he
whatever
just
the
say
fuck you
98
want.
gigs of RAM?
Yeah, that 98 gigs. Okay, that you're never going to touch that in your life.
Oh,
That's why you
that's
go
not even-
128.
They sell Mac Pros with 100 gigs of RAM.
Are those servers though?
I don't believe so. I'm not
'Cause
sure.
okay, if it's a server, maybe. But like, even a workstation, I mean, all right, I have 16 gigs of RAM. I have 7,621 megabytes being used at the moment. That is
Yeah, it's
about half. And I mean, even while I'm rendering, my RAM doesn't kick up or anything like that. The cores do, so two CPUs would be great, but as far as 8 gigs of RAM, like I
I mean, it's more for 3D rendering and After Effects and stuff like that. But I mean, I still couldn't imagine you needing that much. Like to add on to that, like I have two different browsers open right now. One of them has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different ones 6 different tabs. The other one has 2. I have Skype open and Steam. I am 45. Okay, so I'm running at like 4 gigs of RAM. That's 28% of my 16.
Yeah, that's. I mean, yeah, if you ever watch Freddie W on YouTube, you see he makes all those videos and stuff. And I mean, he uses all the Adobes and stuff like that, which rendering videos like that, especially because he makes like movies, that's
Mhm.
got to take some time. And even watching one of his videos when they built a custom computer, they put 32 gigs of RAM in his computer. And he even said, "What do I need 32 gigs of RAM for?" Coming
Yeah.
from a guy that renders like movies, full blown movies. And if he says he doesn't even need 32 gigs of RAM, I don't see why anyone would need. I mean, I would love to have 32 gigs just to say I had it, but would I ever need it? No. I don't think I could max it out even if I tried.
Yeah.
Maybe if I had like 8 monitors going and, you know, a movie playing in each of them, Blu-ray, maybe then I would be pushing it.
Well,
But
what did I tell you? I had like 12 tabs open, Skype, Steam, and 2 different virtual machines, and I just hit like 40% RAM.
yeah, and I mean there was a point I put to test and I got myself to 98% of it being used. But I mean, I had Borderlands going, I had Call of Duty, I had a Battlefield demo going, I had a Blu-ray playing on my other monitor, I had iTunes going, I had Sony Vegas rendering up a video I was recording, you know, with my capture card and everything like that. And I mean, I had so many tabs open and stuff like that. And it took all that just to get to, 98%.
Yeah.
And it was just insane. 'Cause, I mean, for all you who are looking to put RAM into your computer, I would put more than 8 gigs in. So I would go 16. It's nice to have that buffer zone. So if you ever need it, it's there. Most of the time you will never max out, but I mean, I'm not gaming or anything right now, and I'm at 7,600 megabytes. So I mean, if I had 8 gigs, I'd have 300 megabytes left over.
Well,
But
I
I mean, I
mean,
do have a lot of stuff running at the moment.
yeah, if you're on a budget build, you know, and you're just trying to build, you know, a decent gaming computer, you can build a decent, you know, not a high end, but you know, a budget build for 500 bucks. You have yourself a good gaming PC, and
Yeah,
that's what it's strictly built around. Like we built our computers around, you know, obviously gaming needs and our other needs and stuff like that. But I mean, like, yeah, I'd still go with 16 gigs of RAM because I mean, everything is using more RAM each and every day. You know, different stuff is coming out. It's basically future proofing your computer, so you're not gonna have to buy it later on.
exactly. And for those who don't have the money to get maybe 16 gigs of RAM right now, and most motherboards have, you know, maybe 4 RAM slots,
Yeah, at least
sometimes
4.
6. But I would recommend getting, if you only could get 8 gigs, don't get 8 gigs over 6 pieces of RAM. Because when it comes time to upgrade, you're going to have to get rid of the current RAM you have in there and then go get new stuff. And then basically you have wasted RAM because you can't even use it because there's no more room. So if you get 8 gigs, make sure if you have 6 slots, make sure they only take 3 of the slots. And that way, when you add 8 more, you could just pop them right in, and you don't have to get rid of the old RAM and buy more new RAM. Because then you're just kind of wasting money.
Yeah, just 3 channel it.
Exactly. So,
But
that's-
to touch back on that motherboard topic, I was actually looking at that Maximus 5 formula, the Asus one.
Mhm.
That thing looks pretty sweet, and I want it. But I mean, it's not really that I need it yet.
No. And you're talking about the same motherboard that we're looking at the other day. with the only thing I saw about that is, on far as feedback goes, there's only two people that left feedback. Surprisingly, it's a $600 motherboard, but one
No,
guy.
not this one's 280.
Okay, you're looking at a different one. But on that motherboard, that was $600 with the dual CPUs.
Oh no, this
It
is
had
dual CPU,
two
but
feedback on it. One was great, one was bad. So it's like,
ooh.
that's $600. Am I going to go off a 50% chance that it's going to be good?
Well, there is that chance that that idiot shocked his motherboard when he was putting it in.
That's true.
Maybe
Or,
you forgot to put the little bracer brackets on there so it doesn't short itself out.
yeah, or he forgot to, people do stupid things, like put two different CPUs in it.
Yeah.
Like, that's like buying two different kinds of RAM. People who are buying RAM, buy the same RAM. Don't get a 1300 megahertz or 1333 megahertz and then up it to an 18 for the other half, because that's horrible, because they'll overload the 1330 because they'll all try to run at the 18 rate, and it's just a mess.
Usually, if you do have a good motherboard, you can go in the BIOS and you can, set it, so it's running at like a medium rate. Like, say, if you do that, you can, you know, you can't clock each one. There's like XMP settings or something like that. You can do that, but yeah, it's still not worth it.
No, it's not. And I mean, it's always good just to have all the same parts, just so you know exactly what you have in there. If you got
Yeah.
six different RAM sticks in there, and someone asks you what you're running, you're going to be like, well, I have, one of these, and then one of these, and two of these. And, one's 8 gigs, the other is 1, the other is 512 megabytes.
I sent you a link to that motherboard.
I don't even think that they make 512 anymore. And it's funny because I just did computer work for a guy, and on his laptop, and it's an old one that he just wants for a family computer. And I purchased the junker off eBay and scrapped it for parts. And here in my hand, I have a RAM stick that's 128 megabytes.
Wow.
Now take note, this laptop only supports one stick of RAM. So this is running Windows XP on 128 megabytes. That is, I mean, I think when I open up Google Chrome, it uses more RAM.
Yeah, right.
That's just insane. And if I'm correct, it's recommended to have 512 for Windows XP, so I don't know what 128's doing in there.
Maybe it
But-
came with like Windows 98.
Maybe, and it just decided to upgrade it. But I mean the computer runs fine because I threw 1 gig of RAM in there for him. You could get DDR1 for dirt cheap now.
Yeah.
But now we're at DDR3, and I think DDR4 is going to be on its way pretty soon here. So soon enough, I mean, it'll be that time again to upgrade the computer. I am at that point as far as I want a new. My motherboard's still fine. I think I just want a new CPU and new graphics cards and some solid states thrown in there.
Remember how we were in the store and we are like, this is the at Comp USA, and we are like, this is a budget build, we're going to be building this computer over time. And over time didn't mean, far future. It meant, let's buy this and we can come back in like a few months and, we can upgrade that.
Right.
I put my computer through a stress test, and, I was thinking, because I never really put it to its limit until like a week ago, or not even a week ago. And now I'm thinking, like, I really don't even need to upgrade anything on this computer, and I'm kind of sad because I really wanted to actually build the computer.
Yes. Now, me and Brian are both running liquid cooling on our systems, and my temperatures right now are sitting at 45 degrees Celsius. Not too bad.
Wait, is that your cores or your actual CPU?
My cores.
Oh, my cores are at 36, 35, bouncing
36.
back and forth.
Yes. Now
Mine are chilling
PD,
at about 28, and I'm using fan.
yes, PD is running a fan, and his are a little cooler. Now PD is also running AMD compared to Intel.
The
Me and Brian,
8150, to be precise.
yes, I'm running an Intel i7 950, and Brian, what are you running?
I have the i5 3570K.
Now yours is what, second generation?
Third, I have
Third.
Ivy.
You have the third, and mine's first generation. And luckily for me, they came out second generation like a month after I bought my first one, so that was great. But so PD's running AMD with a fan, and right now both his temperatures are cooler than ours. Now PD, how high do they get when you start gaming and you're putting a full load on?
The highest I've ever gotten them was when I was playing Bad Company 2. Got up to about 60.
60. So I mean that's pretty good for being a heat sink and a fan. Now is that the stock heat sink that came with AMD?
Yeah.
Yeah. I actually built a computer for a guy, and he wanted AMD, and he just ran a plain old fan at the heatsink, and his temperatures were about the same. So, I mean, if you talk to people and stuff, everyone says that liquid cooling's a little cooler. So it seems that AMD's CPUs run a little cooler than Intel does. By maybe quite a bit.
Well, I mean, under a load, I would say that it's the same because my cores don't get any higher than around high 50s.
50s.
Yeah, under a load, like when I'm gaming and everything, it won't get any hotter than that.
See, I think the liquid cooling is going to keep it around the same spot as a fan will for idle. But when it comes to those very heavy loads, like you're rendering or something, the liquid cooling is going to be able to keep the computer cooler than
Yeah.
fan and heatsink will.
And I only have the H60.
Right, and that's also what I have as well. I just have the older version. But I was looking at switching up to, a better one, but when I was looking at people, most people just had to say that it was just a few temperature different.
Yeah, I was told that if I was going to upgrade my water cooling to actually build my own,
And that's what I was told as well.
yeah, that's the thing I don't like. I mean, if I bought that motherboard, if you look on like the heat sinks around the actual CPU, there's two little connections, and you can actually water cool that too.
Yes.
So like that would kind of make me want to build my own, and then I would go spending that extra money just to do that, just because the motherboard.
Exactly. And I mean, my graphics cards haven't got too hot. Maybe because I only have one and it's kind of older. But you can liquid cool those as well.
Yep.
The only issue doing it yourself is you have a leak or something like that, and it's a very long, stressful process getting all the tubes wired and everything like that. And that's probably why, sadly, if I bought my next computer, it would be from Digital Storm with their liquid cooling system in there, that Sub-Zero. Have you ever looked at that, Brian?
Yeah, that cost a lot of money.
Yeah, well, the computer's like $8,000. But if I had tons of money, I mean, looking at that, and while the computer's running with the CPU sitting at -3 degrees Celsius, that's insane. To keep a CPU below freezing while running the computer.
Yep.
You have no idea how much insulation that takes to keep the condensation from rotting your PC, though.
Right, but I don't have to worry about that because I'm purchasing it. So they're taking care of it all for me. That is one of the perks of buying the computer, so everything like that is already taken care of. But, I mean, you're paying a very pretty penny because $8,000, I mean, if I built it myself, it would probably cost me very far less than that.
Yeah, and like that, you can actually buy a case that already has a built water cooling system. Um, that level 10,
Yes.
it actually comes with a liquid cooling system built into it. You can get the higher model one. I think it's like 100 more bucks.
Right. And that's a level 10 tower.
Yeah.
Who makes that?
Thermatake, level 10
Thermatake.
GT.
Alright,
Not the
yeah.
actual level 10. That cost a lot of money.
Yes. If anyone out there is currently using that tower and is running liquid cooling off of that, you give us some feedback on that. Let us know what you think of it, any pros and cons on it, and if it's worth the money. Because I'm
Yeah.
running a Half-Life, which has the ports and spots for liquid cooling to go through it. I just, went the cheap route and paid, $100 and bought a sealed system.
Yeah. And that's another thing. Like, um, I was looking to upgrade to the H80, and like you were saying, it's only a couple degrees difference. They told me that if I wanted to actually get another sealed system, that my best bet would be to just buy the H100 or whatever.
Yes. That'd be your next upgrade there.
Yeah.
Because then you're upgrading radiator sizes almost by double, and you're upgrading to 2 fans as well instead of 1. Now,
Yeah. I would put 2 more fans on there too, though. Push
Right.
and pull system.
Now, you recently put your radiator on the top of your tower.
Yes, it's
Horizontal.
horizontally mounted.
Yes, and how have you noticed as far as like temperature changes on that?
As far as idle, like we already mentioned, it stays about the same. I've noticed like if I'm not really doing anything, it'll drop, a few degrees, not that many, probably around like 3. Under load though, I drop 10.
Under low, it took out 10 degrees.
Yes.
That's because I'm coming up in the next few days here to clean out my PC. Gotta go pick up some air cans and whatnot to blow it all out. But right now I have mine vertically on the back of the tower, and think I'm going to put it horizontally on the top now and see how that goes, because I do have my power supply sitting on the bottom of the tower, so I don't have to worry about it interfering there. And I have tons of space up top still.
Yeah, same here. That's what I like about my case. It's got those dual fans on the top, so it really just sits right in there. I could even put the radiator and the fan outside of the case, but what I did is I mounted the radiator on the bottom and then put the fan on top,
Yeah.
like outside the case, and then mounted it.
Right, yeah, that's always an option too. That'd be a great idea for me to do too, because I do have the 2 holes for the hoses, but it being a sealed system, I can't disconnect the hoses to put them through the holes, so I really don't have the option to do so.
Well, what you could do is you could well, I mean, it really all just depends. Like, I could probably squeeze mine outside of the case, um, like through like the fan hole that's on the top. But I mean, that would probably cause too much strain on the hoses, and that's another thing. Like when you're mounting, the liquid cooling system, like the radiator, you want to make sure there's not strain on the hoses that actually leads to the water block or and the pump.
Exactly, because those are very thin hoses, and like you had the experience where you put your fans on auto, and the system not recognizing that
That it was an
is
actual pump.
yes, is thinking that it was the CPU fan, turned it down. It actually turned it like almost completely off, and your
Yeah, I
temperature
believe it.
skyrocketed instantly.
Yeah, when I looked, it was saying that the fans were spinning at like 600 RPMs, I believe it was.
Yeah, and how high did your temperatures get in that moment? You almost broke 100, didn't you?
No, I don't think it was that high. I think it was like 80s, 70s, high 70s, 80s.
Yeah.
and that was going from 30 degrees to 80,
Right, and that was instantly.
basically. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's always something you gotta watch out for. It's liquid cooling systems as well.
Also, you know, if you have an Asus motherboard, the AI little
Oh,
Fan Expert 2 or whatever, Fan 2 Expert or whatever it's called, that's what did it. If you have a liquid cooling system, you have to go in there and you have to manually, you know, put everything in. It sounds hard, it sounds difficult, but I just started clicking on things and then found the manual. All it is, if you scroll over it, it'll tell you the degrees of which your mouse is over and the percentage the fan would be, and you just basically drag the line and hit apply. Save it as a profile if you want. You're done.
see, that's one of the great things to take in life. When you don't know what to do, just start clicking everything, and eventually it'll all work out in the end.
Even if it ends up destroying your system and you have to throw a complete system reboot and reboot the operating system, it's okay. It will still work better, even if you lose all your data.
It's kind of like a refurbished phone. I mean, it's been sent back. It's been overlooked and redone and renewed. It's
good to go.
And then
Yep.
you got the phone call that said all your data's been erased.
Exactly. And all you have to do, it's like a fresh start in life.
exactly.
There you go. So anything that you have saved on your phone, your computer, you don't need anymore. You're having trouble getting over that old ex-girlfriend. Well, now you don't have anything of her anymore. You probably lost her phone number and that too. So now you're set, your new step in life, and you're ready to move on.
What's a bigger FU than completely wiping your own computer and basically just getting rid of a couple pictures of her?
Yeah, or it's even better, wiping your friend's computer. That's good. Anyone got a very powerful magnet at home? Just
Oh,
bring
God.
it on over and just set it right on next to his tower. And before he knows it, screen's gonna go start getting all stacky and it's just gonna fry. So, what a
It's
better
also
present.
a
You know what
valid
they
option to
Christmas
break
is
into
right
their
around the corner.
BIOS, set
Yeah,
them
it's
to boot
fair.
the CD, and
Yep.
then give them a nice little virus that destroys their drive. That works too.
What a better little present to send the guy that your girlfriend cheated on with than a magnet. And just say it's a nice little piece for your computer. Let them set it on there and there it goes.
Oh God.
But
We are
Yeah,
not
so-
being serious about any of this, so we're not held responsible for any of your actions.
I like the
Vision.
I personally like the magnet idea
Any
as a-
incidents that you may occur on your own or do with our advice.
get them a
So-
refrigerator magnet for decoration.
Yeah, there you go.
Exactly.
Or better yet, you can make it sound like you actually care about them and get them like a magnetic picture frame or something and put like a picture of them or something on it, creep on their Facebook, and just find a magnet on eBay and take that magnet off the bottom of it,
Exactly.
glue that one on there. Bingo, you're golden.
And for the cheaters out there who are geeks and people who might find technology entertaining, you could also send them a nice large flash drive with a nice hidden file that they won't know about until they plug it in.
That works great too. But alright guys, on that note, let's wrap up this podcast. Alright, this was Visions Podcast 1. I hope you guys enjoyed. We'll be coming out with a new one every single week. So subscribe and we'll see you next week. Have a great one.
Bye.
Alright, well that ended up being